fire claiming the lives of over 30 people in Mexico.
Weather across the nation and here in Texas.
And how much is too much, the tipping point for customers.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Soren Dorado.
And I'm Isabella Quintanilla. We have an update on the Nashville elementary school shooting, but first, a tragedy from the U.S.-Mexico border. At least 39 people have died after a fire broke out late Monday night at a migrant holding center in the Mexican border city of Ciudad Juarez. According to officials, the fire was caused by a protest over deportations after authorities had taken in 71 migrants who were on the city's streets. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said that the migrants put mattresses on the doors of the building and set fire to them after they were informed they would be deported. He also noted that most of the migrants at the facility were from Central America and Venezuela. There is no word yet on how many people were injured in the incident. The fire, one of the most lethal to hit the country in years, occurred at the U.S. and Mexico as the U.S. and Mexico are battling to cope with record levels of border crossings at their shared frontier.
28-year-old former student killed 3 9-year-old students and 3 adults during a shooting at a private Christian school in Nashville on Monday. The suspect had sent a message to a childhood friend on Instagram Monday, moments before the shooting. The message said, "I'm planning to die today. One day this will make more sense. I've left more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen." Body cam was also released from the 2 officers that shot the shooter. According to CNN, this attack is the deadliest since the Uvalde shooting.
Severe weather is causing havoc in several parts of the U.S. The Southeast is dealing with the aftermath of confirmed tornadoes, while more rain and snow are striking the already drenched state of California. Reporter John Lawrence has more.
Parts of California are getting clobbered with another major winter storm system, which grew in strength over the Pacific Ocean. A wind advisory is in effect for more than 15 million people in California and Oregon through Tuesday, and the National Weather Service has warned residents about the potential threat of downed trees and power outages. Last year, all of California was in a drought, but this unusually strong winter has resulted in record-setting snowpack and nearly full reservoirs. Meanwhile, in the Southeast,
looking at where right here where the house was sitting, and the steps were right in front of the sidewalk.
People are dealing with the aftermath of the vicious weather over the weekend, where more than 20 fatalities were reported. David Brown says his parents were among the victims who were killed while the storm was ravaging Rolling Fork, Mississippi.
They're in heaven right now, and I was told that they passed away in each other's arms.
The Biden administration vows assistance is on the way for those in need.
We remain committed to doing everything we can to help those impacted by these storms and help them recover.
John Lawrence reporting.
Here in Denton, we are keeping a close eye on our own weather as we've seen some pretty nasty storms the past few weeks. Now let's take a look at the current conditions here in Denton. Right now, it's pretty chilly outside for spring weather, but we're sitting at 54 degrees. The wind speed is at 7 miles per hour, making it a little cooler at 61, but the sun's out obviously, so still pretty warm, not so bad. It's just that wind. Now let's take a look at the conditions for later tonight. The temperatures are going to drop a little bit to 40 degrees, again with a 7 miles per hour wind speed, making it feel like 37, and those clouds are going to start to come in. Now let's take a look at the conditions for tomorrow. It's going to be a lot warmer than today at 69 degrees with a wind speed of 9 miles per hour, making it feel like 70. It is going to be cloudy and a little windy, but it should be still pretty warm. Now that's all I have for First Look. Be sure to stay tuned for a look at full weather later in the show. Now Soren, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Isabella. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has been visiting the frontline cities of Ukraine that have been keeping the country defended. He says, "We will not leave a single wound caused by this war on the body of our country. We will rebuild absolutely everything that has been destroyed." And last night, President Zelensky announced that Ukraine will be taking part in a U.S.-led summit for democracy. While the president continues his tour of the front lines, Ukraine Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba will be attending the summit on his behalf.
After the break, more on weather across the country and here at home.
And more on a Denton police initiative that hopes to even out the gender gap in law enforcement. Stay with us.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon.
Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove. I'm not your
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
Everman police continue their investigation into the disappearance of 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez, who hasn't been seen since November. On March 20th, Child Protective Investigations requested a welfare check for Noel after receiving a report the boy had not been seen in months. After investigators were unable to get a hold of the boy's mom and it was determined Noel was not in the custody of any other family members, an Amber Alert was issued Saturday. The alert was changed to an Endangered Missing Persons Alert after it was discovered that Noel's mother, stepfather, and siblings left the country on an international flight without him, police said. The latest update on the case came from Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer yesterday, stating that they had not found any evidence to show whether the boy was alive or dead.
An elderly deaf woman pushed against a wall and given criminal charges says she couldn't even hear what was happening. CNN's Ricardo Lewis has the story.
The incident happened on September 13th last year at the Austin airport when Karen McGee was waiting for her connecting flight to Seattle. She waited at the gate, but later learned the gate changed and her flight left, but she couldn't hear when they paged her.
She controls her hearing aids through an app on her phone, but at the time the event took place, she didn't know that her hearing aids were actually on a preset setting that didn't fully cover the sounds that she was missing.
McGee was issued a new ticket on Alaska Airlines. She learned her cousin was on the earlier flight that was delayed, so she asked to get on that one.
It was like a complete coincidence that she was rebooked on Alaska by Delta and that her cousin was literally sitting at that gate on a plane.
McGee's attorneys say she was trying to communicate with the gate agents, but they were being dismissive. The agents called security, and McGee grew frustrated, confused, so she sat down. That's when Austin police show up for a disturbance call. Officers tried to de-escalate the situation and explained she could either rebook the flight or be arrested for criminal trespass.
I noticed that you have some hearing aids. Okay, just want to make sure. Are you hard of hearing?
An Austin airport employee then reads the criminal trespass charge, but her attorneys say she didn't know she was given a notice of arrest.
In this case, the need was for someone to get down and speak slowly and not kind of like huddle around her and intimidate her.
McGee was wheeled out of the airport in a wheelchair and booked into the Travis County Jail, where attorneys say McGee was shoved against a wall by an officer, her handcuffs twisted with extreme force, causing her to break her arm. She was booked for 3 days and only given an Aleve and Advil for the pain. In a statement, Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez says, "Our agency takes the health and safety of the individuals in our facilities very seriously and takes appropriate steps to maintain their safety."
They knew she was hearing impaired. They documented in the records.
McGee's attorneys say that her criminal trespass charges have been dropped and that they are working to schedule a meeting on Friday with Travis County attorneys.
Concerns continue to rise in Pennsylvania over the safety of their drinking water, although officials say after testing the water is safe to drink. CNN's Laura Gitta has more on the situation.
The leak from this plant in Bristol, Bucks County, has been repaired, but the damage is done. At least 8,100 gallons of a toxic chemical spilled into a creek on Friday, sparking panic and concern. Those concerns reached the White House. We're told President Joe Biden was briefed on the situation and was in contact with Mayor Jim Kenney over the weekend. The mayor spoke late this afternoon.
And let's be clear, the city has been monitoring this spill first occurred late Friday night.
But today, officials with the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection are trying to ensure people that they are safe.
If there was anything in the water, it would be at such minute levels, there's no equipment that can even tell it's there.
The DEP, along with the Coast Guard, sampled water throughout the weekend and again today, looking for the chemical. They've also collected about 60,000 gallons of contaminated water. Officials are concerned that chemicals could get into the water supply through treatment plants along the Delaware as it travels south. The DEP and the Coast Guard focused their testing near 3 water treatment plants in Delran, Aqua Bristol, and Baxter.
We are constantly monitoring and testing the water to ensure the health of the public.
Those water treatment plants are also testing for the chemical in their supply as well. So far, it has not been found. I talked to the Delaware Riverkeeper today, who says she was not told about this situation until well after it happened. She's concerned about the lack of information.
We don't have good quality information coming out regularly so that people actually know what is happening in this system.
So obviously make sure you're looking out and making sure your drinking water is safe to drink. Maybe invest in a Brita filter.
Yeah, and in Oklahoma, some of it's even coming out white out of faucets. But you know what's really crazy? The pollen in North Texas lately.
Oh, you're telling me, Soren, these allergies have been really getting to me. Now take a look at this. You see this pollen here? This is what is all over your cars, your doors, your sidewalk. It is everywhere. So if you're allergic to pollen, please make sure you're taking your allergy medicine because it is brutal out there. Now, let's take a look at the full weather forecast for the week. As you can see, here are the current conditions across North Texas. Here in Denton, we're at 54. If you move farther southwest, temperatures are down to 50. Over in Graham, it's 51. Stephenville's down to 51. Now moving more up north, Bowie's down to 47. So overall, temperatures are just kind of in the low 50s. We do get up to 57 in Sulphur Springs. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast across the Texas, across state. Here in Denton again, 54. If you move farther down south, temperatures have risen a little bit. Austin's up to 61, Houston's up to 69. Over in Shreveport, they're up to 63, but if you move farther out west, obviously temperatures have dropped. El Paso's down to 48. Not jealous of them right now. Now let's take a look at the full weather forecast for the week. Now, as you can see, it's going to be a pretty wet week. Here today, tomorrow, we don't have any rain in the forecast, thank God, so enjoy that. The high is going to be 69 with a low of 55. Now, starting Thursday, there's a 40% chance of rain and a high of 69. Friday, temperatures are going to rise a little bit. We get up to 83 with a low of 48 and a 77% chance of rain, so it is going to be humid. Now, looking at Saturday, the sun's going to come out. Temperatures are going to be around 74 with a high of 74 and a low of 52 and only a 2% chance of rain, so that's great. And then looking Sunday, temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. They'll get back up to 84 Monday and Tuesday, and the rain is obviously still in the forecast, but overall should be pretty nice weather, so enjoy your week. Now that is all I have for full weather. Soren, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Isabella. This month, the Denton Police Department is celebrating their 2-year anniversary of an initiative meant to narrow the gender gap in law enforcement. Let's go to our reporter, Carla Castillo, who has more on what the importance of the 30 by 30 initiative. Carla, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. As of 2022, in the United States, only 13% of women serve as officers and only 3% make up for police leadership. Here in the city of Denton, around 17% of women work in the police department. This month, the city of Denton is celebrating their 2-year anniversary, signing with the 30 by 30 initiative to increase women in the police workforce. Research suggests that women tend to use less excessive force and are hardly mentioned in lawsuits. They are also viewed as more open, caring, and compassionate and make fewer discretionary arrests. 30 by 30 focuses on increasing the representation for women, including understanding race and ethnicity when it comes to women, to help better promote a diverse and inclusive workplace. Both Denton PD and the UNT Police Department have signed pledges with the 30 by 30 initiative to help create a more inclusive workplace for all women. This is all I have for you guys. I'll go back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Carla. Now when we come back, a look at the latest consumer news.
And later, how on-campus esports impacts students. We'll be right back. Someone took that.
The federal government just raised interest rates this month for a 9th consecutive time. This could mean higher borrowing costs for everyone. So whether you're an investor, saver, or borrower, you're probably wondering what to do with all your money now. Shelley Milosky for Consumers Watch has more.
With banking failures making headlines and the Fed raising interest rates, investors and borrowers are feeling a little jittery, wondering how it could all impact their savings, loans, credit cards, and investments.
When it comes to rising interest rates, it's all about the debt. It's the liabilities that you have.
So what are some ways to position your hard-earned money to get the most out of those soaring rates, but also protect yourself from the higher costs? The first thing first, experts say tackle credit card debt. So get on a plan to pay off what you owe soon before higher rates kick in.
If you've got credit card debt, it's going to cost you more. It's going to cost you more now and in the near future.
It's going to put a lot of financial pressure on an increasing number of households going forward.
If you're looking to buy a home or refinance, higher interest rates could mean banks could make borrowing requirements stricter. Experts say get to work on locking the lowest fixed rate now. Also consider investing in Series I savings bonds. Experts recommend them because it's an inflation-protected asset and offers a safe return. But it has some limitations. Among them, you can't invest more than $10,000 a year and can't redeem your bond in the first year. But act quickly. You only have until the end of April to buy and get the current 6.89% rate.
If you've got emergency money parked somewhere making less than 1%, you might think about buying an I-bond.
Experts say it's good news for savers. Bankrate suggests putting your savings in online high-yield savings accounts. Some are now offering rates as high as 5%. For Consumer Watch, I'm Shelley Malashi.
Now, if you live here in North Texas, you know all about the traffic and are probably tired of it. Well, how about a gondola system over the traffic? Regional traffic planners are looking at Plano as the first city to try them out. The gondolas are self-contained cabins that take passengers directly to their destination without stopping. Swift Cities, the firm behind Plano's forthcoming gondolas, says future passengers will be able to quickly board and exit the gondolas, making it perfect for shopping, dining, and entertainment, with stops around the city. They hope this will reduce traffic and boost the local economy by bringing in new businesses and tourists.
The most magical place in the world may just be Minnie's worst nightmare. To cut costs, Disney CEO Bob Iger says Disney will begin their first round of layoffs this week. The second round of layoffs is expected to be much larger and is expected to start next month, and the final round some point before the summer.
More and more quick service restaurants like coffee shops and fast food are giving customers the option to tip. However, fewer and fewer Americans are coughing up the cash. Chris Nugan has more on what's driving the backlash.
18% gratuities already included in the bill. Girl, it's water.
Across social media, a backlash to the growing number of quick service restaurants like Starbucks and Panera asking customers to tip. It's up 11% from pre-COVID levels, according to data from Toast, a restaurant management software company.
You had a tip at the bottom? A tip? For what?
That's a little too crazy for me, and I refuse.
The average tipping percentage at these places is down, dropping to just below 16%. Professor Depayan Biswas has studied tipping for a decade. He says this new tipping trend started with the boom of digital kiosks.
That's when these businesses realized they can put in a tipping option and earn a lot of money. If you're adding 10%, 20%, that's a huge jump in revenue for a lot of these businesses. And the digital interface facilitated that.
He's concerned the backlash could spread to other services.
That's my biggest worry, that it might actually affect the industry where it really matters the most, the full-service restaurants where the servers don't even make minimum wage.
I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
A rising movie star was arrested over the weekend, and it's causing impacts beyond just the cinematic world. David Daniel has the story in today's Hollywood Minute.
When you look into your future, do you see a life full of obstacles or possibilities?
An obstacle for the U.S. Army's new Be All You Can Be ad campaign featuring Jonathan Majors. The Army paused the campaign after the actor was arrested in what New York police termed a domestic dispute. He faces charges of assault, strangulation, and harassment. Majors' attorney says the actor is completely innocent and expects the charges to be dropped soon. The spokesperson for the Army Enterprise Marketing Office said in a statement, "While Mr. Majors is innocent until proven guilty, prudence dictates that we pull our ads until the investigation into these allegations is complete." Adele is extending her Las Vegas residency. The added Weekends with Adele shows at the Coliseum are due to run June 16th through November 4th. Fans can register now for the ticket pre-sale, which begins Wednesday, April 5th.
Tell me more about your foster mother. You like her? Would it make you feel better if you came and stayed with me? Yeah.
1001 is getting strong reviews. Teyana Taylor stars as a woman who kidnaps her 6-year-old son from New York's foster care system, as both try to figure out who they are.
I go to war for you. You know that?
1001 opens in limited release Friday. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
1001 looks really good, but those assault charges are crazy.
Yeah, and it looks like sports might be getting even crazier. Let's head over to our sports anchor, Gabby Pippins, for a closer look.
Yeah, that's right, guys. UNT has been going crazy lately. We'll be discussing their tourney journey, an end to college partnerships and sports betting, and how sports and technology combine right after this.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No sofas.
This story is going to be awesome.
our Mean Green basketball team has been on a roll this offseason. They have been beating Alcorn State 69-53 in the first round, and they just defeated Sam Houston 75-55 in the second round, with Perry shining once again with a combined 44 points. Now, last Tuesday presented their biggest challenge yet as they faced Oklahoma State in the quarterfinal game. And although Woody Nelson for the Cowboys forced the game into overtime with a last-minute three, Perry stayed on his game, becoming the lead scorer for the third time in a row with 23 points. Now, let's hope UNT keeps this momentum going as we cheer them on tonight at 6 p.m. as they play Wisconsin in Las Vegas during this crucial semifinals game. The American Gaming Association is creating a new code that bans sportsbooks from partnering with colleges. The code bans them from promoting sports wagering and using the athletes to promote free or risk-free betting. They claim that the changes are necessary in keeping up with the ever-changing world of legal sports betting. However, others disagree, with many states outlawing any betting covered by the new code. Their goals are to decrease underage gambling and the risk of later developing a gambling addiction. And colleges who currently have gambling partnerships have until July 1st to end their deals. And finally, although most sports are revving down for the end of the semester, esports tournaments are in full swing. I got to speak with some video game lovers and see how they prepared for the upcoming PS5 FIFA tournament. Sports through intramurals at UNT evolve with each new semester, and esports have been rising to the charts as a popular pick amongst students. Esports turns video games into even more of a competition with matches against other students and schools.
Yeah, so esports started a long time ago, before I was even a professional staff member here. So we wanted to bring a different, unique crowd to participate in intramurals. You know, a lot of students don't necessarily want to go out and be active, but they enjoy and love playing video games. So we were trying to reach a different crowd with trying to pull them in and come play video games with us.
Everyone loves video games, especially Danielle Hitchens, a junior here at UNT who grew up playing the classics and migrated to FIFA.
I think I started playing video games when there was like a GameCube because my brother was older than me and I just wanted to play video games with him. So I'd probably say I was like, 10, 11 years old. I played like the classic like Spyro games and stuff like that, but it wasn't until like COVID hit that I started playing more video games just because there was really nothing to do or nowhere to go. So I got more into playing FIFA because all my friends did. So and I also played soccer, so playing FIFA just was really interesting to have a different opportunity to like play soccer in a way.
Danielle is looking forward to the Women's Soccer League being added to FIFA 2024 with hopes of female players being equally represented.
Now with FIFA 24 coming out, they're going to include the NWSL, which is awesome because that hasn't happened before in the past. I think that's a great opportunity for professional women athletes to be exposed.
She also touches on her experience as a woman in esports and how she enjoys the environment.
I think being like a woman in like esports, it's definitely interesting just because most oftentimes there's only like one or two other girls or women in the room. But honestly, the environment is always really fun and really welcoming. It's always intense.
The PS5 FIFA 2023 tournament takes place this Thursday at 6:30 in the Pole Recreation Center in rooms 205 and 207. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. New food additions at Globe Life Field Stadium this season. On Monday, they introduced their newest addition, one which includes a 2-foot burger called Boom Burger.
Some of their other additions are a brisket croissant, Flamin' Hot Cheetos pretzel, and lastly, a pizza dog. Some new foods that are featured by the Texas Rangers are PLT sandwich, corn ribs, and the beef ribs from Hurtado's. I definitely will have to go to a game sometime and try that Flamin' Hot Cheeto pretzel. That looks amazing.
Me too. I need to try that burger. 2 foot.
That is a commitment, but I love that for you. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon. I'm Isabella Quintanilla.
Join us again tonight at 6 and tomorrow at noon here on North Texas Television.